Hey guys, it's Gary again. Here we go with chapter 2, week 3. Very similar to last week. Just going to go through the chapter, point out some highlights that I want you to focus on. Keeping in mind that next week we'll be having an informational quiz that will cover chapters 1 and chapter 2. So please keep that in mind as we move forward to make sure that you're keeping up with the material and stuff like that as we start to work through. So this week's topic: principles of physical fitness. Obviously, understand what physical activity is very important. Please notice the chart on the top of page 28, figure 2.1. It's important to remember as we're doing physical activity that physical activity, the length of time that we do an activity is based solely on the intensity of the workout. So what I mean by that is if we are going to walk, all right, and we're going to burn X number of calories is our goal, we would have to walk a further distance to burn, say, 100 calories. Then it would take us to run to burn 100 calories. So the way we can determine the intensity of an exercise is to do what is called the TALK test, TALK, the TALK test. And that helps us to determine exactly what the intensity. So think about when you were in school or if you work out, and if you're just walking, you're walking through the mall, you're doing something like that, just walking around the neighborhood, how easy it is for you to have a conversation with someone, okay? So the intensity is probably not that high. Now imagine you running a 100-meter sprint trying to hold a conversation with the same person. You can't do it. Or it's very difficult to do, or you're getting out fragments of sentences, not complete sentences. So using that TALK test kind of gives you an idea of what exactly you're looking for or how exactly it helps you determine the intensity of your workout. So physical activity is something to keep important. Also understand, look at exercise, because it's not the same thing. Okay, physical activity is moving around, whereas exercise is elevating your heart rate to a level that's beneficial for your for your heart. And we'll discuss that in a later chapter in the cardiorespiratory fitness chapter to really determine what that level is. So that's something to keep in mind as we're moving forward. Okay, take a look at figure 2.2. On page 30 in the text. That gives you another idea as far as how intensity works. And as we are increasing the amount of activity that we're doing, or as we're making it harder, we can do it for a short amount of time to give us the same type of benefit. Okay. If you look at page, 31, components of physical fitness. The components of physical fitness pretty much give us the next 5 or 6 chapters that we're going to be discussing in terms of how we're going to be looking at our physical fitness. So we're going to be looking at cardiorespiratory endurance, muscular strength, muscular endurance, flexibility, and body composition as we move forward. So that's something to keep in mind as well. We're looking at cardiorespiratory endurance. Just a quick rundown. That's the stress that we put on our heart and lungs to be able to function in an effective manner, to give us the oxygen, the energy that we need to function on a daily basis. Our body responds to stress. So the stress that we place on our bodies, our body will respond to that in a positive and or negative way. So if we're looking at information as far as how we can stress the body in a cardiorespiratory situation, we're able to understand that by placing our body under that type of stress, allowing our heart to work harder during exercise will make it pump more oxygen efficiently. Okay, oxygenated blood more efficiently. Excuse me. Muscular strength is our ability to lift an object of weight. Muscular endurance is something that we're looking at quickly to how long can you move a weight through a range of motion. If you think of the word tone, if you ever heard the term tone when working out, that deals with muscular strength. Flexibility is the body to move a joint through a range of motion. That's something that's important also. Body composition, we'll look at body composition in 2 ways. BMI, which I could give you a half an hour presentation just on BMI itself and how much I dislike it, as well as body fat percentage. Please pay particular attention starting on page 36 to what is called the FIT principle. Okay, FIT, F-I-T-T, frequency, intensity, time, and type. That is something that we will continue to use throughout the rest of the course to help us develop exercises, to the workout plans. You probably will see it again on the final, just a little precursor here at the end. To the end of the course. So keep that in mind as we're moving forward. Pay particular attention to what the FIT principle is, how you make it, how you develop a workout using the FIT principle, and what those each mean, what each of those topics means. We're going to be working on developing your own exercise program as we work through this. Please, as I said before, when you're doing your exercise program, make it something that you like. If you hate to run, don't make yourself a running program. Okay, for me, I was not built for distance, but I do like to swim. I do like to bike. I do other activities with my kids. We play basketball in the front, in the driveway and stuff like that. So there are other things that we can do for our physical activity that don't necessarily incorporate running. So if you don't like to run, please don't make yourself miserable and make a running workout for yourself. Make something that you enjoy doing. The biggest thing is start slowly. If your goal is to run, okay, I want to run 3 miles. My goal is to get up to 3 miles. Don't start by running 3 miles. You make yourself miserable. Start, maybe walk 3 miles. Then, once that becomes easy and your time starts to go down, say, okay, now I'm going to alternate. I'm going to run the first half mile. I'm going to walk the second half. I'm going to run the next half. And then do that, because continue to build yourself up. Don't go out the first day and say, I'm going to run 3 miles, then get discouraged when you're only making 1.75 miles. Okay, so keep that in mind also. And again, as we discussed in the last group, working with a training partner is something that's important also. And being able to do those types of activities in make yourself accountable to someone. That's important also. All right, so just want to thank you for this week. I know that was quick, but I don't really want to waste your time. I just want to point out the highlights. The biggest thing this week is make sure that you understand the FIT principle, how to use it, what it means, and starting in 2 weeks, we'll go over actually how to incorporate and make a workout that goes along with the FIT principle. So have a great week, guys. Take care. Talk to you soon.